Friday, and I think I talked about switching from watercolor to like a colored pencil look. And so I switched back because I wasn't getting the images I was hoping for out of Mojo AI. Stuff was getting weird again. And so I noticed after using the Mojo anyway for a while that it'll give you what you want and for like a few iterations, a few separate images, and then when you start to try and refine one, stuff gets weird. So I'll show you what I mean. And now that I'm not using Magic Media anymore. Now that I'm just using Mojo, I realize that if you actually go to Mojo AI and not in Canva, and log in, you can see all of your iterations and then the prompts are on top of them too. And so I was going, let me scroll, hours of work here. So these are the ones I had. I liked this one and this one. And then when I started doing the prompt where I wanted the girl to be playing in a messy toy room, it gave me this as my first one. And then I kept trying to refine it because this was still too realistic looking compared if you look at these other ones that I have. They weren't still, I don't know, I'm not an artist, but they look more cartoonish. And then this started looking a little too real. Like if I was drawing something with my hands, I wouldn't be able to make that. Like this looks like it's done by a computer / by hand, and I didn't want that. And so I kept trying to refine it, and this looks even more real, a little less real, a little more real. Then I tried to get an aerial view because I was thinking maybe if I get further away from her. But then I got a face, and I don't want faces in here because I just feel like I can't keep that consistent, and it looks too real. I'm making a video, Bubba. So I kept going, I read in one of the forums that you should try maybe changing your aspect ratio. So I made this a 3:2. And this got a little bit more hand-drawn, you can see. But if I put this on my page, I'm gonna have all this open space, and it just wasn't what I wanted. And so I would try to go back to Magic Media again and upload it. That just looks weird. Like, what are all these balloons doing on the ground? I don't know. Another aerial shot still looked weird. You can see I went through like tons of iterations. And then this was a little bit about what I wanted, but then it's black and white. And I don't want black and white. I wanted color. So then I tried to say with colored pencils. I mean, you can see I went through tons of iterations. And I was like, I was going to settle on this one. I put it in my book. And then I started moving along to the next illustration. When I got to, this one was strange. These ones were getting better. This one, I was like, all right, this is starting to get what I wanted again. See, I changed my prompts, got away from that image. And it started giving me a little bit more of the feel that I wanted. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try to use the same prompt. So this one I used hand-drawn and colored pencils with soft edges, I think was my prompt. And then I tried to put that into Mojo, but instead of using their line art style, which is this, I used I went back to watercolor again, but kept the same like descriptions of like hand-drawn and colored pencils with soft edges. And it gave me this. And I was like, hey, I like this. I'm back to watercolor again. And so what I did was I kept the same guide. So children's storybook page style, view from 25 feet away, hand-drawn and colored pencils with soft edges. And then I reused that prompt and just replaced 3-year-old blonde girl closing a pair of curtains with both hands to 3-year-old blonde girl playing in a messy room of toys, 3-year-old blonde girl walking towards a closed door, 3-year-old blonde girl playing in a backyard. So I kept all of those guiding styles style words in my prompt and then just replace the center with what I wanted the image to be. And so I started getting what I was wanting. So I got 4 images. I was like, yes, this is, and they kind of look along the same lines, like the same artist could have drawn them. So I was feeling pretty good. And then I went and replaced it. I wanted one of a girl yawning, like this and rubbing her eyes and just her face. And this is what it gave me. And that's not what I'm looking for. And so then I tried to refine it, saying, give me a side view. I don't want to see the front view. This I thought was cute, but she's got a pencil coming out of her mouth, which no, it's not what I'm going for. And it's a little too real looking. I kept trying to back away from the realness, get away from the face. And it just seemed like AI was not liking me then. Look at these look really weird. So I was like, you know what, let me stop anything with the faces. Let me just start doing the side views. So I backed up again, and you can see now that I backed up, changed my prompt, the images are getting a little less realistic. Like I like this. He's sitting in bed, waking up at daybreak. So I use that. I changed my afternoon sky to this. So I'm getting there. I just wanted to say, like, I was doing the pencils. Now I'm back to watercolor again with kind of a pencil look. And then I also changed my font. I was using Lovelow, and now I'm this Dreaming Out Loud kind of series of fonts I'm using, all caps and then Out Loud sans, a little bit more whimsical. But I've still got some ways to go. I'm working on it, but it's getting there.